Hey Hoopheads, Brad here with another breakdown, and today I want to talk about the Lakers' 103-101 win over the Clippers. In this game, the Lakers were led by Anthony Davis's 34 points, and the Clippers were without Montrezl Harrell and Lou Williams, so it's not a picture-perfect playoff preview, but let's get into it. On this play, Kauai gets the handoff from Noah, and then right here, he's got a step on LeBron, but instead of trying to move laterally with him, LeBron squares up to the basket so he can pick up speed and get a better jump. Really nice work contesting that layup. Unfortunately, JaVale doesn't box out Noah, and he's able to tap it out to Paul George. And as Kauai gets it, you see KCP pressuring up, trying to force him left to the help. And as Leonard attacks the basket, AD able to step up and take the charge. Nice work, great help defense. And that's part of the reason having a guy like Anthony Davis on the back line of your defense is hugely valuable. On this one, you see Anthony Davis around the free throw line as Noah comes over to set the high screen, and KCP goes under it, so Paul George pops the three-point attempt, not able to get it to go, but Noah drags down the offensive board again. And as George gets it again, he's got Anthony Davis on him, which maybe feels like a bit of a mismatch because he's technically a big, but Davis's lateral movement is fantastic. And as George drives, you see him go into AD's body, and against a smaller defender, that might move them backwards and create an attempt at the rim, but instead, George has to kick it out. JaMychal Green loses track of the shot clock, passes it to Paul George again, but AD's there to wipe out his shot attempt. 24-second violation. And here, as KCP loses the ball to Paul George, check out where Alex Caruso and JaMychal Green start this fast break. And Caruso does a great job of closing that gap, getting into the passing lane, deflecting the ball out of bounds, and shutting down an easy bucket. And on this play, Landry Shamet is going to run off the double screen, and as he does, watch the way Anthony Davis steps up to him to prevent the three-point attempt. That's going to let Noah dive to the basket, but on the weak side, Kyle Kuzma rotating over, but because he doesn't overcommit to the rotation, he's able to recover back to his man and get a pretty decent shot contest on the corner three. Nice weak side help there from Kuz. And now as Shamet gets the ball and comes off the Noah screen, that's Dwight Howard switching on to him. Shamet's going to get by him, but watch Kuzma rotate from the weak side again. That's going to leave his man open in the corner, but Dion Waiters rotates down to the baseline with Shamet flustered. Dwight with the nice hands to deflect the pass and get it out of Noah's hands. That's going to be a turnover. And now as Reggie Jackson comes off the Patterson screen, he's going to drive into Dwight's body to force the switch. Dwight doing his best to contain him, and as Kuzma's man cuts through, you see Kuz stopping kind of in help position in the middle of the lane, and then LeBron James waiting on the weak side, gets into that passing lane, deflects the pass to the corner. And Kuzma, not necessarily known as a great defender, but he was quite good at the point of attack. He got some fouls early on Paul George and Kauai, but overall he did a pretty good job of staying in front of him, moving his feet, contesting shots. Kauai's going to get some open mid-rangers. He's going to hit a few of them, but if you can sort of contain that penetration and not let him get all the way to the rim, that's absolutely huge. It helps having Dwight on the back line of the defense too. And seeing Kuzma locking in like this has to have Lakers fans excited heading into the playoffs. On this one, you see Kauai step back to the three-point line early, throw the pump fake, but Kuzma doesn't go for it. Nice discipline, and then Kauai gives it up and gets it back. And you can see Danny Green shading over, cutting off the middle. Kauai hits Kuzma with another pump fake. This time he jumps, but he doesn't jump into Kauai's body. He just jumps straight up and down, avoiding any fouls. And then as the pass goes to Patterson, Green a little bit sloppy with the closeout, and AD does what he can to get out and get a hand up on the three-point attempt. And on this one, Paul George is going to cut up to the top of the arc. JR loses him, not 100% sure what he's doing on this play, but Dwight does a nice job to spring out and prevent that pass. That leaves the pass to Zubac's wide open, but watch LeBron here. He springs into the passing lane, intercepts it. LeBron James, not a bad piece of insurance to have on your squad. And then Anthony Davis gets switched onto Paul George again, and just another great play from AD. Paul George drives, tries to give him that hit once again. AD just absorbs it. George loses it out of bounds, another turnover. And now some screening action at the top, and you see Anthony Davis switching onto Kauai temporarily to let KCP get back into the play. And then the ball swings to Paul George. You see LeBron pressuring up into him, trying to force him left. And as George drives, Caruso's going to quickly step into his lane and then get out of the way. And that causes George to just do a little hop. His right foot lands before his left foot, and he gets called for the travel. And then this is just a great sequence from LeBron. First, anticipating the drive to the middle, and then the spin back, keeping the pressure up, not letting himself get bumped out of position. A great shot contest, a great finish to the first half. Incredible D from LeBron with a little bit of foreshadowing for how the game would end. And now as Paul George cuts up to the top, Green and LeBron are going to switch off ball so that Green doesn't have any chance to get picked off by Zubac. And then as Zubac gets it and pitches it to Paul George, he's going to set the screen, but you see LeBron spin around it and then keep his pursuit of George up. So now when Zubac tries to dive to the basket, he's in LeBron's way and he's going to get called for a moving screen. A bad move on Zubac's part, but that doesn't get called if LeBron is not getting after it. And now Caruso gets switched onto Kauai. Kauai tries to hit him with the pump fake, but Caruso doesn't go for it. And then once Leonard gives up the ball, some denial defense from Caruso. Beverly has to go off the Zubac screen instead. And as he does, Jermichael Green is going to cut towards the basket, and that brings LeBron right into the way. He's able to jump up and block this with his left hand. And as Zubac recovers it, the shot clock expires. Nice work from the Lakers there. And now Kuzma gets switched onto Reggie Jackson, and once again, a great job of moving his feet, staying with him on the drive, great hands, good work not fouling, able to recover it. And now as Shamet gets the ball and beats KCP, check out AD at the free throw line watching things develop, and just an incredible rotation to get to the rim and change this shot. And now Caruso and Kuzma in some more screening action. See how Caruso steps up to Paul George to just make him take half a second longer to give Kuzma time to recover. And great pressure by Kuz here, able to force Paul George to lose the handle, out of bounds off him. That's going to be a turnover. And now as Paul George curls off the Zubac screen to the top of the arc, Dwight Howard takes a step toward him to prevent that three-point attempt and then scrambles back towards Zubac with his hands up so the pass over the top isn't there. The ball goes to Beverly in the corner. Dion Waiters does a nice job of forcing him towards the baseline. Dwight's there intimidating at the rim. And then the ball goes to Marcus Morris on the far side, and LeBron locked in, harassing him defensively. Morris steps on the sideline. That's going to be out of bounds, another turnover. And then Kauai gets the ball with KCP on him. Good ball pressure, but Kauai able to power past him. Danny Green is there with the help, so Kauai kicks it out to Reggie Jackson, who gets AD with the pump fake. And then as Jackson drives, LeBron steps up and then slides back to his original man, able to get up and block the shot from behind. Great help defense there from LeBron. And then once again, Kuzma playing some pretty solid D on Kauai. Almost forces the turnover, but the ball squirts into Paul George's hands, who buries the corner three. And now LeBron defending Kauai, and as Shamet sets the screen, you see Caruso just take a step towards Kauai to give LeBron time to recover and stay in front of him. LeBron trying to force him left, doing a nice job, but Kauai spins back to his right. Good recovery by LeBron, staying glued to him, and then as Shamet gets the ball on the run, Kuzma helping over from the corner, so Caruso goes to his man in the corner, deflects the pass, and able to save it inbounds. Incredible defensive possession from the Lakers there, up a single possession with just a minute to go. And now LeBron defending Kauai again. He passes it to Paul George, and as LeBron runs in front of him, just a tiny miscommunication. You can see Green step away from Paul George. That gives him enough room to get the shot off and tie things up. But then after a monster shot by LeBron to regain the lead, you see him D'ing up Kauai once again, trying to force him left and then staying disciplined on that pump fake. Kauai passes it to George, and then instead of waiting for George to come to him, LeBron steps out hard to him, forces him to retreat back to the half-court line with time running out, and then forces him left. George not as good shooting that way. He misses the shot. That would be the ball game. The Lakers win this one 103-101 in a likely Western Conference Finals preview. Thanks for watching, and if you want to see more videos like this, hit that subscribe button and let me know what you thought of the Lakers defense in the comments.